How's everybody? Good. 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 There he is. All right. So again, you're doing injuries or? Okay. It was a spirited practice. It was one of our better practices. You know, I think the guys are, like I said, excited to play, and I think everybody's excited for Joe and what he's accomplished. And you know, again, this team has always amazed me that way. We go to practice. We practice good. You know, we got to take it to the game, and that's what we talked about. You know, we got a game this Saturday, but it's good to watch our guys come back on a shortened week and go out and practice like they did today. So we just got to continue to do that as we finish. Want to finish strong. Big time game this week against a good opponent, AFC West team that's I think is really good. You know, I forget their record. I've played San Diego a number of times. Have a good quarterback, you know, good offensive skill players, a good lineman, really good defense. You know, as we talked about Bosa and Ingram already. So it's a tremendous challenge, and we're looking forward to it.
San Diego scored touchdowns on their opening drive like 8 times this year. What allows a team to have that kind of success?
Quarterback makes plays, knows how to get them into the right situations, and puts the ball in the right place and make plays. They've just been methodical as how they go about it, and he's really good.
I'm sure on the other side, you script your opening stuff, right? So how frustrating is it when you spend all that time getting it prepared, thinking it's going to work, and then not having that?
Right, it's not fun. I'm used to doing what they do, you know, going down and scoring. I mean, that's how you put pressure on the other team. That's the goal when you start your openers. You know, you want to go finish with points. And they've done a good job of that. And that's something that we're working our tails off to try to do.
Hugh, if you had that type of team that was ready to do that, would you take the ball more often?
Absolutely. You know, you play to the strength of your team, you know, and if you can get ahead of another team, if you see that's the possibility to do it, then you do it. You know, no question. You put more pressure on the other team that way.
I got a question about that. If about this deferring strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand the theory is that if the other team has the ball first, you're going to have it the last possession of the second half. Last possession of the first half, correct? That's the theory.
Well, the theory is you gain one extra possession in the game. The only way to do it is probably to defer. That's the theory. You're trying to do anything you can to maximize possessions, you know, of having the ball so you can score more points. So that's what it's all about.
Well, it seems to do that, you would have to have the ball last in the first half and first in the second.
Possibly. You know, you can look at it that way.
So
But
it would seem to me that with that strategy, the other team's going to have the ball last in the game.
Maybe not. It all depends how you look at it, I guess. You know, I don't see it that way. But, I mean, I don't look at it like that. I mean, I try to play, there's another one of those analysis things. You know, analytics tells you that if you defer, you have a good chance to have one more possession than the other team does throughout the game.
Hey, could you tell us, give us a glimpse as to other general examples that you've tapped the analytics department here during the course of the season?
I mean, there's a ton of things. You know, I think our staff has done a good job. I work very closely with a guy by the name of Dave Giuliani, and he's been outstanding. You know, it's just like the Tennessee game when you guys were grilling me about the two-point play. You know, so I have somebody I really trust and who does extensive research that I can tap into that has done a good job. And I think we came back and said Coach Jackson made a good decision, you know, when you look at it. Yeah, I mean, so we it's not just something we do, you know, it's really researched and studied, and we try to get the best information we can. Are we going to be perfect all the time? No. But at the same time, you know, we trust, and I trust in our department that way to help me make those decisions.
Projects, or does he just give you
no,
data?
we give him projects. We give him things to do, and there's a lot of different information he brings me, and some of it, you know, is really important, and some of it, you know, my football expertise, I go a different way, you know. But again, it's there, and I think that's what's important, that is there for you to sit there and decipher through and make good decisions about the information that's given.
So in your play sheet, do you have like a bunch of things listed?
No,
Analytics,
it's not that. You know, it's you know, being in a lot of different situations, but also trying to be in communication with this person. This person is available to me when we're at the game. I mean, just like that. Oh, they're there. They're there, and I can communicate with them whenever I need to. So it's a good thing.
Is there an example of something that you kind of thought throughout most of your coaching career that your mind has been changed by some of this data?
Well, I mean, that we would take too long to talk about those things, but I mean, there's a lot of different ways to look at information, as you know, and I think the situation of the season, kind of dictates what's good, what's not good, where you are, how many games have you won, which we've won none, to differences of, how you go about doing things. So I think it goes from A to Z all the time, but the fun part for me is that there is a lot of information to sort through, to understand better, to look at things differently. The greatest thing I think that Dave has done for me is like all the other different situations that happen around the league. We normally meet on Fridays, and he takes me through all those. And he doesn't just give me paper, he gives me video, to go with it. So I really appreciate what he does for our organization and for me personally, and I think he's done a great job.
Are there certain things along those lines that, maybe you just say you're not going to budge on, or are you
Oh,
open
absolutely.
to everything?
Oh, no, you got to be open, but there's certain things when you look through it, you go, no, that just doesn't fit, and you may see it differently. Just because this says that doesn't mean that it's right for you or right for your football team. So I think it's, it's important that you weigh those things. But again, I think the important part is he's bringing different thought processes to me that maybe I hadn't thought of that way. And I think that helps, how can we gain an extra possession? How can we do this a little bit better? How can we do that better? And I think that's truly what it's all about. How can you be at your best when you're playing a game, coaching a game, or whatever that is?
This may be a similar question to what Dan asked, and not to bring up baseball, but in baseball you can watch a guy hit a curveball 500 times.
Oh my gosh.
But in football there are so many variables on each play.
Yeah, there's no, you're right. There's not baseball. Okay, so,
All right, there are a ton of variables on each play.
mhm.
So how do you work analytics into that?
Well, because again, that piece of it, again, gives you a lot of different scenarios, and sometimes you can relate it to football that way. And it's not just baseball. I hate to use that analogy. I'm not trying to be down on baseball, okay? But it's not baseball. We play football. So there's certain things, because I don't want you guys to think it's a baseball piece that we're looking at. That's not what it is. It's an analytics piece that deals with the National Football League, all the different scenarios that have happened throughout the league. This is football, real-time football that we're talking about, with video to substantiate it. So this is not, okay, well, this is what they did in left field, and this is what this pitcher did. I've never heard of that. So that's why when you guys mention those things.
Can you use one example of something he brought you during the
Yeah,
game?
like I said, I think to go into all that doesn't matter right now, because there's a lot of different things that he's done. I can bring down all these charts and graphs from football, from a different game of something that happened at Cincinnati that they were facing a 3rd and 2, and this is why they made that decision. Here might be a better decision. You know what I mean? So that's how we kind of go about it more so, and it's done with real football, so that's, there's so many things that way. And like I said, he's been outstanding. He's really, really bright, really good at what he does, and I really appreciate spending the time with him that I do.
I was remiss yesterday when we were talking, and not asking you this, when we were talking about the unplayable practice field. Did you consider going to the stadium or BW or an alternative site to practice?
No, because then you got to pack the team. Then there's a time element involved, and everything changes. And we're on a routine, so I like to keep the routine the same. And I really don't want to make that bigger than what it is, but it is big to me. I don't want to run from that neither. We need to be able to be outside. We are an outdoor football team, and we like to practice outside. And I don't think, we want to use the weather as an advantage to us. And if it's too cold or the things, all of a sudden we can't get on the field, it is a blessing to be able to go inside in our facility. I've been places where you have to go someplace else, and everything else does change. So that part's good, but do I want to get it to where we can stay outside? Yes, I do, because I think that's important for our team as we move forward.
Were you indoors again today?
Yeah, yes, we were.
You're using these last 2 games to look at RG3 and maybe Cody Kessler. So how uncomfortable are you going in this offseason having no idea who your quarterback's going to be?
I'm not
next year?
uncomfortable. I know you like to have those answers, but again, this is just where we are, I'm not going to be uncomfortable on anything. I feel very comfortable about the future. Now, at that position, we have to get it right. Don't get me wrong about that. So I'm not saying that we have it right. I'm not saying that, that the person that will lead our team as we move forward is on our team. We're going to find that out. We got 2 more games to determine that, but I do know this. Eventually, we'll have a quarterback here that we all feel good about, that can win for us and that can do the things that we want to do to win football games, that we need to do to win football games, and I'm comfortable with that.
Hey, is Cody getting more reps this week in practice because you might use him?
Yeah, no, he's gotten more reps, because I think it's, I want to prepare him, and make sure that he's able to go out there. But I haven't taken away from Robert's preparation, too. Robert's, he's getting the majority of the reps to make sure he's ready to go. Like I said, I think you guys know me. I don't pulling punches with our guys. They both gotten reps, and Robert more so than Cody. But I think Cody, if needs to play, he'll be ready to play. And hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Do you see any ill effects? I mean, Cody hasn't played in a while since that second concussion. Does he look back to normal on the
Oh, yeah.
field?
No, Cody's ready to go. Cody's chomping at the bit, as you guys know. But I think he understands the situation, and he's been great. And he's dealt with it the right way. And, we'll see.
We asked you a lot about Joe Thomas yesterday, and obviously, he did get the 10th Pro Bowl, but Joe Hayden being named an alternate. Could you touch on the season that you think he's had, and obviously he's dealt with a couple of bumps and bruises along the way here, but how do you think he's played?
Joe's been outstanding, as I said yesterday. I wouldn't, what he's done, what he's accomplished, here as a young pro when he first started here to where he is today, the man he's become, the leader he's become is, to me, outstanding. He's had a good year, a really good year from our standpoint. He's one of our best players. He's a cornerstone to me of this team still, and obviously he's getting up there in age, but Joe is accountable and determined, disciplined in his preparation to go out and play week in and week out, and I really appreciate that about him. What I appreciate the most, as I said yesterday, is how he's kept this whole team together, not just offensive players, defensive players, special teams players, because they look up to him. You're talking about a guy from the day he walked in here has been a Pro Bowl performer from the first year to the 10th year, What I get disappointed about, and I'll say it again, and I'm not going to run from this, I'm disappointed he has not won games in this league like I think players like him deserve. This guy's going to be a Hall of Fame football player, and that's what he is. And like I told our team today, I don't think they get what playing with Joe Thomas means. It won't really resonate with them until they're out of here in 5 years or maybe removed from their careers. That, man, I played with Joe Thomas. I know that's how I feel coaching him. I'm coaching Joe Thomas, one of the best players that ever played a game, in my opinion, at his position. So it's special, and then to me, for Joe Hayden, for him to be nominated, I don't care what the alternate system is, I know what he's been through from a physical standpoint. For him to still be out there competing, it says a lot to me, because that might have been another year when he wasn't going to be out there competing. So those things I am most appreciative of from those guys, because I think that's how you build team, because guys, they fight for each other. They fight for their coaches. They're out there together. It doesn't feel good all the time, but they're trying to get it done. So those two guys, to me, it says a lot, about them, and about what they're trying to accomplish here.
Hey, Jamar Taylor showed up on the injury report. Is that the same groin, and did he re-injure
Same
it?
thing.
Did he
Same
hurt it
thing.
again?
No, I think he'll be okay. Yeah.
I know earlier in the season, you guys were pretty adamant about, Terrell Pryor is a building block. Do you still view him that way after?
Oh, I do.
production?
Oh, yeah. No, that hadn't changed. Oh, no. You guys know I have a tremendous amount of confidence in Terrell. And I think he's only going to get better as he moves forward, And Terrell's like most guys, he wants it all. He wants to be the best at what he does. And I think he understands there's growing pains to anything. You got to work through those times when they don't go as well. I mean, Terrell like to catch 10 balls every game, but it don't work like that in this league, Antonio Brown doesn't catch 10 balls every game right now, so that's just the way it is. And you have to, when your numbers call, you got to make those plays. And he'll make them, and he'll continue to grow. Like I said before, his best football is ahead of him. He just got to keep his head down and keep grinding, keep pushing through.
Good.
Thank you.